All right, so now that we've learned a little bit about the Vantora point of sale system, let's learn how to set it up. So if I go to settings, POS, there's some options here for me. So the first one is general. That's just your tax rate. So we're at 8.25% tax here. So I put in 0.0825. If you have a 6.5, you put in 0.065. Easy enough. Save your changes. Then the next thing you want to do is set up your categories. Categories for things you're selling. I'd tell you make the first one play. This is the order they're going to show up. We use play, paintball, rental, retail, concessions. That seems to do everything that I need. If you need some different categories, feel free to add them. Real easy to add them. You hit add and you put stuff, whatever the name of the category is, and you create it. So now there's a stuff category. Let's add another one and we'll call it more stuff. So now I've created a few more categories here. I got play, paintball, retail, concession stuff, and more stuff. You'll see that when you go to your point of sale, we default to the first one. So since the first one was play, if I go do a new invoice, it defaults to the first one. But there's my paintball, retail, concessions. This is movable, so I can slide it on over. If you have a ton of categories, you can, but put ones that you're not going to use too much way over there because you're going to have to slide over to get to them. I don't have anything in the more stuff category of the stuff, but I do in concessions, I do in retail, I do in rental and paintball. And you see I got different colors for these things too. So we can just get used to, hey, 500 paintballs is the red one. So every time I go in here, I do that. We'll look at that in a little bit on the buttons, but first we're going to just look at our categories. There they are across the top. So once you're, if you make a category you don't want, you can go in and you can delete it. Are you sure you want to remove more stuff? Yes, I do. Let's take stuff and I'm going to delete that. Okay, you sure you want to delete it? Yes, I do. So now, you want to be careful if you delete categories that are assigned to products. It's going to goof up those products. They're not going to show up. You'll have to then go to each one of those individual items and put them to there. So now that we've created categories, we're going to put items in the categories. So let's take a look at items. The first item that I created was play. Play is kind of an interesting item. Probably what you do the most of if you have a paintball field. So we've got play, it goes in the category play. You have a cost of 0 and a price. That's whatever you would charge if somebody came in and they're not doing any type of package. They're not doing the discount deal. They're not doing the Thursday walk-on whatever deal. They're just coming in play only. No equipment, no nothing, just play. So you set a price. I don't have anybody who pays this price because all of my plays are tied into packages. But I just assign a price anyway. So you assign a cost, you assign a price. And then you can choose whether or not it's a tax exempt item, whether or not it has inventory, and I have no inventory for play. I can do as many as I want, and whether or not it is visible. So if play is visible, now it shows up on my stuff. If it's not visible, it won't show up. So we say it's visible. We'll just have it be the default color, okay, which is this light blue. We can choose other colors for that button, but we'll just leave it as the default. All right. So later on, we're going to, when we're dealing with inventory, you'll care about parents and children, but for right now, we're not going to use the inventory module. We'll worry about that later on. So we have play, and then when you're done, you just save that item. If you're looking for an item that you've already made, you can just look for them by going down the line here, or you can search for them. So if I'm looking for cookies, I can put in cook and it finds my product name cookies, and we see that that's in concessions. It costs me a dime and I sell it for $1, and maybe I have tax exempt cookies for some reason. What color do I want the button to be, etc. So you create the items like this. If I go back to my search and we're gonna clear my search, and if we add one, first thing it's giving me is an ID. I'd tell you don't even worry about the ID. We're probably going to make that disappear. You don't really want to go changing that. Just leave the ID alone. It's just a numeric count that it's going to go through and use. And then you just put in the name of the item, so whatever you want, which category does it belong to, whether or not it's inventory, a cost, and a price, whether or not it's tax exempt, and it defaults to visible, and then save it. Okay, I'm going to cancel this, get the heck out of there. So We can see items if we go into our point of sale system here. We can this actually, a lot of these are not items, as I'll explain in a second. Let's go look at paintballs. Paintball is an item. I got 100 paintballs. Okay, and if I'm selling it for $9.24 for 100 paintballs, or a bag of 500, we sell for $35, or 2,000 paintballs, we sell for $87.76. And then you have whatever your cost is on those. So if your cost is $2 on this, or $10 or whatever, you just put in the cost accordingly, and then it will track all that for you. So those are items. The other thing, besides just items, we can set up packages, and this is a lot of the power of the system. So I have a discount play package. So for example, on that package, that includes a play and it includes 100 paintballs. So that I sell for $25. Let's go in and let's just go create a new one so you get the idea. Let's suppose we have a scenario package, and we're going to put it in play because that's the main thing really associated with the packages. You might have a rental package that includes a chest protector and a neck protector and gloves, something like that. Then it would be under rentals. But this one, I'm going to put it under play. And I'm going to charge $75 for people to come, or $65 for people to come play. And I'm going to say that this button should be gray. Okay? I'm going to save that item. Now that I have that item, I'm going to add items to the package. So the first thing I'm going to add is in the play category, and it is play. And it includes one play. Now, I created an item called rental paintballs, a group of 100 rental paintballs. The reason I did that is for situations like this. Let's suppose this package includes a paintballs and includes rental paintballs. So here's my rental paintball package. The reason I want that in there is it'll look a lot better on reports later. But let's suppose I want 500 paintballs to go in this package. This is a item that's 100 rental paintballs, so I'm going to give them 5 of them. Now I'm just going to give them a bag of 500, but it's going to track my inventory for me. So now I'm going to save that. So now basically they're getting play. They're getting 500 paintballs. Let's add another item. This is also going to include from the concessions. It's going to include a large popcorn, but only one of those. So I'm going to save that in there. So now they're going to get that, that, and that. So you can add as many items as you want. So if they're inventoriable items, they'll come out of inventory when I sell this package, and it will update my reports when I do this package. I've made up a this as the scenario package. I save the package, and we are scenario package. Now I go to POS. Let's take a look. If I say I want to do a new invoice, here's my scenario package. I made the button gray. There's my scenario package. It's $65. Includes a play, includes a large popcorn, and 5 rental paintballs. If I go in and I pay for this, it's going to show me that I sold a popcorn and a play and 100 rental paintballs. The reason, again, for the rental paintballs, when I created my items, I created a rental paintball item for 100, and then I created all the other paintballs, 100 and 500 and all that kind of stuff. The reason is for reports. Let's go take a look at a report real quick, and here's a bogus report for today that I've been playing with and just created. So we're saying we have 17 paid invoices so far, 2 unpaid, one of them the one that we just created. Items in an unpaid invoice do not show up as goods sold until they're actually paid for. So if I'm starting to do an invoice, it's not going to include those things. Okay? After I have all those items in the cart, then it will. So when we look at this report, not only do we see how much cash we brought in and credit cards and how much was online, we can see all of the items that we've sold. As we're looking at items we've sold, you'll see the one thing I have here is play. So what we're showing is on this day we had 34 people play. All right. Now those people might have been 18 of them were from the discount package. Okay, so we can see 18 of them there. And then we also had 11 people from a Groupon package. that we have created. So there's 29 of them, and then the others the other 5 are from the standard package. But I can look at all my different packages and just know that that was 34 people total that played. That's why that's nice to track play. When I look at rental paintballs, I can look at the rental paintballs and went, okay, 44 people had rental paintballs. We had 34 people in different packages. Of those different packages, I had 4,400, so 2 cases plus a little more should have gone through the rental inventory, and 2 people came up and bought 100 paintballs. And 1 person bought 1,000 paintballs, 2 people bought 2,000 paintballs, 1 person bought 500, etc. So I keep my rental paintballs in the packages while I keep the for sale ones separate, since I inventory them differently at my facility. We can also see in the report here we had 7 jumpsuit rentals, 8 rental gloves, but we have 7 protection packages. So what this tells me, I have a package that we created, and let's go take a look at it. So here's under packages. I have a protection package. My protection package I rent for $9.24 because that comes out to an even $10 with tax. It includes a chest protector, rental gloves, and a jumpsuit. Now you can rent any one of these items individually, or you can rent them together as a package. When I package it together, they save money that way. So let's take a look at rental gloves. Here, when we have the rental gloves, there's no price associated with the rental gloves in here. But if we look at it just as an item, and we're going to look at, let's find the rental gloves. Here they are. So normally, we rent them for $5 with tax, $4.62. So you can get the rental gloves by themselves, or you can package it. Let's go in and take a look how it happens if somebody's doing an invoice. So off of rental, you can choose to get rental gloves if you want, or you can get the protection package. The protection package includes a chest protector, rental gloves, and a jumpsuit. So this would be the invoice for somebody who one person wanted the entire package, the other person just wanted gloves. All right, and so now when I ring this up, it's going to show that I've rented chest protector, rental gloves twice, and jumpsuit. Just one of the times the rental gloves was in the package. So you get all that information from your reports that's available from the POS reports. And again, reports is going to have some modifications and some changes, but you can start to see how this is playing out. We're going to make it so you can group things by categories, so you can look at just all your play or just all for your rentals, etc. But anyhow, there's the general idea. So that is how to set up items and packages. There's our basic settings: general, categories, items, packages. That'll kind of conclude us for here. In our next video, we're going to look at some usability issues, how to do things like cash back, how to add somebody's name, leave open invoices, some things like that. So check out the next one. But there's how to do your basic settings, including general categories, items, and packages.